Well, today we're going to have to be talking about something a little bit uncomfortable, and it might even seem like a little bit of drama content, but it is, but it's not. It's very relevant because we stand right now at the precipice of potentially having a lot of things flip politically, and in one of those races to see who's going to maintain control of the Senate here in the United States, we have to talk about Herschel Walker. Now, quite a lot of things have been happening around Herschel Walker lately, and one of them is the Daily Beast put out this article. I know it's not fitting on my screen, but pro-life Herschel Walker paid for girlfriend's abortion. Now, look, here's the thing. I want to make this clear as I'm recording this video. The decision to have an abortion absolutely should remain with the woman. It's good if they can involve the man. You know, it's cool. I get that. And I really don't want to be talking about somebody having to get an abortion because I'd hate for anybody to have to remember something that is unfortunately not a very pleasant experience to have to go through, and in some cases very traumatizing. But that being said, we have to talk about it because Herschel Walker is against abortion. He is an anti-choice activist. Well, at least he says he is. Honestly, I think Herschel Walker's brain is a wad of solidified glue at this point, and he doesn't know half the time what the fuck he's saying, but that's beside the point. Now, they started making these allegations, and these allegations have been out for a little while, but the Daily Beast actually has the receipts. So we're going to look at the article, and then we're going to look at some of the responses about somebody who can corroborate this quite well. Herschel Walker, the football legend now running for Senate in Georgia, says he wants to completely ban abortion, likening it to murder, and claiming there should be no exception for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. But he has supported at least one exception for himself. That's why we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this because this is hypocrisy. Rules for thee, but not for me, which is not a new thing for Republicans. Quite a few of them have paid for abortions for their mistresses. This happens a lot. And it's usually those people who do those sorts of things who are like, well, yeah, no, we just have to, remove their choice, et cetera, et cetera. A woman who asked not to be identified out of privacy concerns told the Daily Beast that after she and Walker conceived a child they were dating in 2009, he urged her to get an abortion. The woman said she had the procedure and that Walker reimbursed her for it. She supported these claims with a $575 receipt from the abortion clinic, a get well card from Walker, and a bank deposit receipt that included an image of a signed $700 personal check from Walker. One of the most important things about this, too, is that the people that are reporting on this, they've seen the receipts, physically seen them, so they know that this is real. Regardless, Herschel, trying to deny reality, is claiming that it's completely bullshit and that he is now going to sue the Daily Beast. They kind of talk about it a little bit in here. The Daily Beast independently corroborated details of the woman's claims with a close friend she told at the time, and who, according to the woman and the friend, took care of her in the days after the procedure. Because that's another thing. Herschel Walker knocked this woman up, then paid for her to have an abortion, and then didn't take care of her. What a charming motherfucker! What a man of the people! What a prince that's going to be representing good conservative values in America. What the shit. The woman who said Walker, who was not married at the time, told her it would be more convenient to terminate the pregnancy. More convenient. What is it that Republicans always say about using abortion as birth control? Not the right time for him to have a child. It was a feeling she shared, but what she didn't know was that Walker had an out-of-wedlock child with another woman earlier that same year. I don't remember how many of this has happened at this point, but I think it was something like 4 children that Walker has, which, again, I don't care. That's your business. That's totally your business. But again, it speaks to the hypocrisy. That's the problem. Asked if Walker ever expressed regret for the decision, she said he never had. And in fact, it even details later that they still talk to each other. They still communicate. Asked why she came forward, the woman pointed to Walker's hardline anti-abortion position. I just can't with the hypocrisy anymore, she said. We all deserve better. And I agree. We all deserve better. And that's why I think we have to talk about it, even though this is not something that really should have to be everybody's, business, except for the fact that he's anti-choice and wants to remove that ability for so many people. Let's see. All you want to do is run. This is his lawyer. I don't know why he's got a lawyer. This is stupid. All you want to do is run stories to target black conservatives. You focus on black conservatives. Sure. Okay. When in doubt, pull the raise card. He wanted them to disclose the identity. They declined. I'm not taking this anymore. I plan to sue the Daily Beast for this defamatory lie, Herschel said. Meanwhile, Herschel's adult son, Christian Walker, lashed out on Twitter in defense of the Daily Beast and against his father. Now, we're going to look at those in a minute. That's where we're going to, wrap this whole thing up. The woman who also provided proof of her romantic relationship with Walker told the Daily Beast that he mailed her the check inside a get well card. The front of the card features a drawing of a steaming cup of tea, reads rest, relax. The message continues on the inside, recover. And that's exactly his autograph, of course. She still communicates with Walker, said he did not tell her about his plan to run for Senate before his announcement in August of 2021. Since then, however, one of Walker's top surrogates has asked her repeatedly if she'd be willing to vouch for his character, reaching out as recently as August. In a 40-minute phone call this June about one of his out-of-wedlock children, the Daily Beast pressed Walker repeatedly on whether he had knowingly had an abortion with any of his past partners. Dodging the question multiple times, ultimately said he had not, so he just lied to the American people too. And let's see. Oh yeah, here's another one. But Walker, who according to his ex-wife held a gun to her head and was gonna blow my brains out, she said, has been continually rocked by reports that he lied about his past, covered up several love children. Still, the claim that he had not only urged a romantic partner to have an abortion but paid for it could be the most explosive revelation yet. Maybe. Personally speaking, the fact that he is so goddamn brain damaged, and I know people will be like, Joe Biden, no, Trump, no. Yeah, I get that. We can all point to various different things, but not once have I ever actually seen Herschel Walker be able to formulate one coherent sentence. He has every single symptom, and again, I'm not trying to diagnose anybody, but you have to admit, he's got so many symptoms of massive brain trauma, which happens when you are an NFL player, especially the kind of NFL player that he was. So again, obviously this is rank hypocrisy and it's fucked up. But Christian, I think, has the right to really speak on this the most. So let's look at some of his tweets. Every family member, and keep in mind, this is Herschel Walker's son, who he does love, and they've had a pretty decent relationship. Every member of Herschel Walker asked him not to run for office because we all knew some of his past, every single one. He decided to give us the middle finger and air out all of his dirty laundry in public while simultaneously lying about it. I'm done. Here's some people. MAGA here's this you stop acting like a spoiled brat, showing that he's hugging his dad. It's so fascinating. So fascinating. I am not going to risk any weird tweets just to be safe. I know my mom and I would really appreciate if my father, Herschel Walker, stopped lying and making a mockery of us. You're not a family man when you left us to bang a bunch of women, threatened to kill us, and had us move over 6 times in 6 months running from your violence. That is explosive and insane. I don't care about someone who has a bad past and takes accountability, but how dare you lie and act as though you're some moral, Christian, upright man? You've lived a life of destroying other people's lives. How dare you? Yeah, and keep in mind, Herschel, Christian Walker is a piece of shit. Listen to this shit. Hang on.
Sorry.
Listen to this little fucker. Such a piece of shit.
In order to get an abortion, you do have to get banged. So all of the blue hair pro-choice protesters don't need to worry much about abortions.
He's just a wannabe fucking Milo. He's such an insufferable little shit.
Sorry, I just had to say that. So, a couple things. It's easy to give something up when you don't have it. It's easy to give up shopping when you're broke, like we all are under Joe Biden. So, for everyone saying they're going on a sex strike, were you getting any to begin with, ma'am? Because it doesn't look like it. It looks like you've been in the drive-through. Not in the drive up to his house category. More the I'll take a 10-piece fried chicken. It looks like that's where you've been. But in order to get an abortion,
yeah, he's insufferable as fuck. Oh yeah, he's talked about black violence, and basically Christian is an insufferable little shit that just regurgitates everything from, pretty far right talking points. But the thing is, in this, he's got a reason to talk, and that's because this dude's fucking over his mom. So I'm gonna give him a space to talk, man. I want to hear what he has to say about this, even because at least in this, he's talking about something that's relevant to people and not just being cruel for the sake of being cruel. So let's hear it. Oh, I know, it's cringe as fuck.
I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time.
Okay, so then why are you so mocking about it and being such a piece of shit about it? Like, you understand why that looks so weird, right, Christian? Like, you get why that people might feel like you're being a little weird about it, It'd be different if you were like, hey, I want to speak on the issue of absent fathers because I'm going to relate with you and use empathy, rather than what you actually did, which was basically just scream and shit your pants and act like an insufferable little twat,
Because it affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values? I was silent lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever. He gets on Twitter. He lies about it. Okay, I'm done. Done. Everything has been a lie. And so for the right to say I'm being suspicious for saying, hey, I'm done with the lies, when you all have been calling me saying, is this true about your dad? Gosh, we're not going to win Georgia, this candidate, all that's been you. You have no idea what I've been through in my life. You have no idea what me and my mom have survived. We could have ended this on day one.
So, and this is something that I think is kind of important to mention. Now, don't get me wrong. Christian Walker is a shithead. This little kid is a fucking shithead. But I got a lot of empathy with the fact that he had to put up with all this crap. I do. I can have empathy and understanding for him. And also, he's a piece of shit. Like, it's totally fine to do both of those things. So I feel bad for the kid. But also, I don't feel that bad. But I'll have empathy. Okay?
We haven't. I haven't told any stories. I'm just saying, don't lie. Don't lie on my mom. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on the lives you've destroyed and act like you're some moral family man. Y'all should care about that, conservatives. And then for people on the left to act as though I'm responsible for all of the things that he has done. I've talked about father absence. I've talked all these issues because they've been close to me.
I don't know anybody on the left that's actually doing that. I mean, you could make the argument that you shouldn't have played along with it for so fucking long, especially because it affected you. You can make that argument, and that's a pretty valid argument, Christian.
Because they matter to me, because I went through it. That's why I've talked about it. So when you say, well, talk about your dad, but I'm saying this behavior is atrocious. Don't come for me. You don't have to like my apology. You don't have to like me. You don't have to. I'm just saying I'm done with the lies.
Okay. That's fair. Good.
We were told at the beginning of this he was going to get ahead of his past, hold himself accountable, all of these different things, and that would have been fine. Go ahead. He didn't do any of that. Everything's been a lie. Everything's been downplayed. Everything's been cutting corners. The whole thing. And whose expense is that at? Me, my mom, as we're chased down by the media, we're terrorized, all the.
Well, let's be fair. Let's be fair. You always want to be in the limelight. You've always been that way. I mean, I have sympathy for your mom, but not really you when it comes to that. You do want the attention. You do. Come on.
These different things. People are questioning my authenticity. I'm done. Don't lie. Don't put this on me. This is a candidate issue, not a me issue. I wouldn't have spoken out if there weren't all these lies every day.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Then let's see. I think this is his second. This is the second video. Let's watch this one.
Have to address, and then I'm done with this buffoonery nutjob land. This is atrocious. People on the right are pulling up that I did a campaign event with my dad last year, and they're saying, well, you supported them all last year and all this year. You look suspicious. No. You all have been calling me saying, why aren't you on the campaign trail with your dad? Why aren't you helping him out? This looks weird. You should go help him. And I've said to you calmly, I'm not getting involved. You don't know my family life. I did one event last year when we were told he was going to get ahead of his past and hold himself accountable. None of that happened.
I gotta be honest, his timeline of how he's explaining it seems to be legit.
Everything's been a lie. So for me to tell you I'm not getting involved, and then you also be flooding my DMs and calling me saying, I didn't know all this about your dad, we're going to lose the Senate race. And then when I simply say, I'm done with the lies, you go, well, Christian looks suspicious. Excuse me? I haven't told one story about what I experienced with him. I'm just simply saying, don't lie.
That's true. That's true. I have a feeling that the Christian, if pushed, could probably tell some pretty damning stories. Absolutely. Now, there's some people who have this idea that like we need to be really, really nice to Christians, so he will do it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. The whole thing is that Christian right now is taking what I would say a rather noble sort of, it's two-part, a noble stance of defending his mom and defending basically himself and his trauma. And I think that's legit. But also, I think Christian is also a drama whore and likes the limelight. So I don't know.
And then for certain political pundits to be pulling up old pictures I posted of my dad, thinking they can police and determine what my relationship with my dad was. If you want to pull stuff up, I'll pull stuff up. Don't try me. Don't test my authenticity. All of this has been a lie, and you've known it. You've known. So don't you dare. And then to the left.
The person he's talking about is Jack Posobiec, who is basically a fucking Nazi, who basically was trying to throw some shade and to try and mitigate damage. Because the thing is, what everybody on the right really cares about right now is desperately trying to win Georgia for the Senate, but it's not looking good right now.
Left, who says, well, he did all this to your mom and you were still with them and that's weird. You know nothing about my life. My parents
True.
went through a dirty divorce. I went through a lot as a child, and you don't know anything. You don't know the ebbs and flows of our relationship. Nobody knows anything. So for everyone making these wild theories and whatever, that's crazy. This is about a bunch of lies. Again, if I had an issue with whatever, I could have ended this day. That's not my intention. My intention is don't lie about your life at the expense of me, my mom, and all of the people that you've affected throughout your life. You don't get to pretend you're some moral family guy. You don't get to pretend all these things. Talk policy, talk normal. Do not lie.
Look, hey, based as fuck, man. I like it. I'm into it. It'd be great if he would stop being such a shit about a lot of other stuff. That would be great. But that's fine. I'm just gonna leave it there. And I'll put it this way: it's important that these types of things are addressed when it comes to politics, only in so much if they are going to be very relevant to the country, to the public interest. And somebody who actively wants to fully ban abortion is a massive hypocrite about it, and also potentially an abuser. I do think that's actually very relevant. I think it is. So some people think it's tacky. I don't. I think this is absolutely something that people need to pay attention to. And Look, I wish Christian had been able to speak his truth earlier, if that was what was going to help him out. But you know what? We got an October surprise. So, whatever, I'll take it.